Senator Faki.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to make a statement regarding the alleged transfer of Kenya Ferry Services to the Kenya Ports Authority. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order number 47(1) to make a statement on an issue of general topical concern, namely the alleged transfer of Kenya Ferry Services to Kenya Ports Authority, KPA. The Kenya Ferry Service is currently the most convenient link between the mainland south and Mombasa Island in Mombasa County. Mr. Speaker, sir, the last 2 weeks have been marred with allegations that plans are underway to transfer the functions of Kenya Ferry Services to KPA. The Kenya Ferry Service commenced operations in 1937. Initially, it began as a private service and was later on taken over by the Municipal Council of Mombasa in partnership with the now defunct Kenya Bus Services Limited. In 1989, Kenya Bus Services Limited withdrew from the ferry services and the government through KPA took over the operations. Mr. Speaker, sir, we may recall that on 29th of April 1994, the MV Mtongwe ferry capsized, leaving over 250 people dead. After this tragic incident, the government commissioned an inquiry headed by the Honorable Justice Mogoli Msaga into the operations of Kenya Ferry Service, the observations of which were that the Kenya Ferry Services were underfunded and poorly maintained as a department of KPA. The government implemented some of the recommendations of the inquiry through sessional paper number 3 of 1998, including granting the Kenya Ferry Services autonomy by becoming the major shareholder and KPA remaining as a minority shareholder. Despite this action, the Kenya Ferry Service still continues to face some of the challenges from 1994, with funding being the greatest challenge. To date, 26 years later, Honorable Speaker, the victims of the MV Mtongwe Ferry disaster have never been compensated. Mr. Speaker, sir, the proposed handing over of Kenya Ferry Services to KPA violates Article 186 and Schedule 4 Part 2 of the Constitution of Kenya, which provides that ferry services are a function of county governments and should therefore in this case be transferred to the county government of Mombasa. The Kenya Ports Authority Act, Honorable Speaker, gives KPA the specific mandate of managing the ports in Kenya, but does not extend this mandate to managing the operations of ferries. Mr. Speaker, sir, over the years, the management of and operations of Kenya Ferry Services had deteriorated largely because of lack of investments by the national government. The Kenya Ferry Service is instrumental to the well-being and livelihood of the people of Mombasa and the country in general. Any material changes to the operations of Kenya Ferry Services cannot be left solely to the national government and requires extensive consultations, including public participation, before it is ratified. Mr. Speaker, sir, the incident of the drowning of the late Miriam Kigenda and her daughter in October 2019 is fresh in the minds of Kenyans. It took almost a month for the bodies to be retrieved from the Indian Ocean. Therefore, the importance of Kenya's ferry services there cannot be underestimated. The service cannot be run as a department of Kenya Ports Authority, which is also facing a myriad of challenges of its own. The national government should therefore consider transferring the service under Article 187 to the county government of Mombasa, as this will be the more prudent direction to take in the operations of Kenya Ferry. Mr. Speaker, sir, I would also want to make one observation that early in September, I brought a statement on the supposed merger of Kenya Ports Authority, Kenya Railways, and Kenya Pipeline. To date, the concerned committees have not been able to meet and discuss this important merger. Mr. Speaker, sir, the more the committee delays in considering these matters, the more likely that this decision will be implemented and it will be too late for the committees to reverse whatever decisions that have been made. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.